Hi, my name is Wendy Valente. I studied engineering in college and I was a practicing engineer for about 15 years. Then I took a little time off. I got a graduate degree and then I went into teaching, and I'm in my 13th year of teaching. So what is an engineer? Well, there's lots of different kinds of engineers. I studied operations research and information engineering. So what do we actually do? Well, it's all about problem solving and decision making. So we use mathematical modeling, particularly statistics and probability and computer programming, to build models so we can simulate certain whatever needs to be simulated before it's actually implemented. So we use a lot of computer programming, which was really interesting to me. And when I worked in my first job at Procter & Gamble, I did a lot of web development and front-end work to deliver data analysis and other kinds of analysis to marketing and sales. So I really enjoyed my time as an engineer. What is a computer scientist? Well, a computer scientist is a profession that studies computers and computer systems and computer programming. So they use a lot of algorithms and math to develop software to solve problems. So it is very much in line with the kind of engineering that I studied. And now computer scientists do a lot in machine learning and artificial intelligence, and very importantly, cybersecurity. What do I do day to day? Well, as an engineer, I worked with Procter & Gamble, then I worked with another company called AC Nielsen, and we collected scanner data. But all of this, we were looking at the data of consumer packaged goods. We were cleansing the data, we were analyzing it, putting it into a readable format, and then in the mid-1990s, I was developing websites, which it was brand new. The whole internet and web, the World Wide Web was new. So we were developing front ends to websites and able to deliver all of this important information to sales, marketing, senior management. What do I do day to day as a teacher? Well, right now I teach 2 AP computer science classes and a cybersecurity class. And so what do? I prepare the lessons, I deliver the lessons, I make sure I support students that have any issues with understanding the directions or having any coding issues, help them debug. I grade projects and assessments, and I just make sure that I help the students in any way I can. What was your favorite part about being an engineer? Well, I loved problem solving and I loved building new technology. Like I said before, I was working in the mid-1990s when websites were just beginning, and it was really exciting to be able to automate a lot of things, put stuff like JavaScript and CSS and HTML, use all those different applications in a web environment. So I really enjoyed that. I also another skill that engineers must have is they must be able to communicate. And I was very good at translating technical jargon and technical results into something that was easy for senior management to understand who did not have a technical background. I did like working as a consultant as well, and understanding what the client needed and being able to deliver it in a whatever kind of technical solution. So that I very much enjoyed. What is my favorite part about being a computer science teacher? Well, I do love teaching the programming languages, but especially I love teaching cybersecurity because I think it's such a hot industry right now. Like, I don't think that AI is going to take over cyber anytime soon. We need people, and they're constant threats. So to get kids excited about cybersecurity is probably one of my favorite parts of my job. And then I also am the advisor for the computer club. So right now we're doing a cyber competition called Cyber Patriot, and I really enjoy the kids getting into it and learning how to mitigate any exploits in a particular situation. So I do enjoy that. And when students have that aha moment and they're like, oh, I really love this field, that's the best for a teacher. How did you decide to become an engineer and then a computer science teacher? Well, I loved math in high school. It just came easily, and I enjoyed how there was always just one right answer. And my dad was also a mechanical engineer, so I had that influence at home. And I liked doing things that girls didn't usually do. So when I went to engineering school, it was about 25% women. And I loved that challenge of being, one of a few. So I didn't think of anything else. I just knew that I wanted to be an engineer from probably 10th grade on. How did I become a teacher? Well, I was working in New York City and we moved to Rhode Island. I had some kids and I stayed home for a little bit. During that time, I got a master's degree, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to take all of my business and engineering experience and be able to help high school students. So then I started teaching and have been teaching since. Okay, what part of STEM applies to computer science and engineering? Well, actually all of it. Science, technology, engineering, and math, it all applies to computer science and engineering. So for science, we're using physics a lot in engineering, not so much in my discipline of engineering, but we certainly are looking at experimentation and theories that you learn in science. Technology, the tools, the system, the software, the hardware, that's all relevant for computer science and engineering. Engineering, we are designing and building computing systems, so that's relevant. And math, of course, is the foundation of computer science. Like, math is the language of computer science. And it's also the foundation for algorithms. And right now, AI and logic and circuits, those are all super hot topics. So math is extremely important part of computer science and engineering. So what parts of elementary or middle school apply to computer science or engineering? Well, I think there are three really important parts that middle schoolers and elementary school students should focus on, and that is math, science, and any sort of computer related class that you take. What also is important is reading and writing, because you have to be able to communicate your results. Art and creativity, like you have to be creative in engineering and computer science. Problem solving, so maybe puzzles, if you like puzzles, or logic games, or coding, online coding tests, those are great. And then finally, you have to be able to work in a team in any environment. No computer program was ever written by one person, so pair programming and working together to solve a problem is super important. Thank you.
Now we'll move on to the activity portion. Have you ever wondered how computers work? How you can search the internet and watch all your favorite shows? It all happens through binary code. Binary code is a language made up of ones and zeros that forms the entire basic system that runs your computer. Looking at binary code seems like nonsense to a human eye, but for a computer, it couldn't be more clear. The word binary refers to something that involves two things. Think of a light switch, for example. The light switch could be on or off. Binary code works the same way, with 0 referring to off and 1 referring to on. These sample signals are used to form combinations that refer to numbers, letters, images, and more to give your computer instructions. Writing out letters, numbers, and symbols in binary code is simple. Each character is referenced by an 8-bit code called a byte. Bits are either a 1 or a 0, and a byte is a sequence of 8 of them. Using a table with the sequences for each letter, you can write out your name or anything else you want in this different language.
All right, so now we're gonna make the binary keychain. So for this, from the kits, you should have a little tassel, a little keychain ring, a bag, of black, white, and green beads, this rainbow string, and then the binary code converter page. And then also I just have a pencil to help me like highlight where the letters are. So first, you have to find your initials on this page. Mine are S and M, so I'm just gonna circle that for convenience. A highlighter would also be awesome. And so those are the binary letters we're gonna make out of beads. First step is take the GIMP rope and kind of fold it in half. It doesn't need to be exactly half. There should be plenty of excess to cut off at the end, but roughly half is probably smart. Then put it through the keychain ring like this and just tie it off so it stays in place. Just like a simple knot will do. But yeah, just two simple knots. Sometimes you have to redo them because it doesn't want to lay flat. It's kind of finicky, but yeah. All right, and now we can start with the binary part of things. So first, we're gonna put a little green bead on it to kind of signify the start of the letter. And then you can start with your first initials. Mine's S. And every time you see a 0, you put a white bead. And every time you see a 1, you put a black bead. And you can check it if you like. Just line it up, and I can see 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. And that matches the white, black, white, black, white, white, black, black. Now we're gonna put another green bead on to close it off. And then you can tie just another simple square knot to keep the beads in place. You probably need to double knot it if you don't want them to fall off. All right, now we're gonna do the next letter, which for me is an M, and just repeat the same process as the first time. So put on a green bead, then for me it's 0, so white, and then a black, because it's a 1, and just continue down the line. And then we're gonna finish it off with a green bead. We don't need any more beads, so you can put that off to the side. And then just tie another simple double knot. Mine didn't line up perfectly, so I'm just gonna try and tie a third. Yeah, that's nice and tight. Now we can take the scissors and cut off the end. Make sure you leave a little bit of a tail so the knot doesn't come undone. now, if you want to, as a fun little bit of decoration, you can attach this little tassel. You just need to, sometimes this is hard, so you can get an adult to help you with it, but just slide the little ring under like you would with any keychain, and then you have it attached. And that's it. That's your binary initials keychain.